everybody, and welcome to this video. This is going to be a little bit of a different video because I've already done one looking at Project Zero Maiden of Black Water in a broader sense, but I wanted to do a video looking specifically at the game's photo mode because I think that Project Zero Maiden of Black Water has an incredible photo mode. I have been waiting for Koei Tecmo to start to do something decent with photo modes for quite some time because the company creates the most beautiful characters. I think that is something that is indisputable. The project, not just Project Zero, all Koei Tecmo games have absolutely beautiful characters, but the photo modes have lagged behind. Certainly Sony has done some incredible things with introducing complex and interesting photo modes into their games, and I have been waiting for Koei Tecmo to follow suit. To date, they haven't really. So the fact that this game actually has one, which I think is a genuinely good photo mode and something worth playing around with, and you'll get a lot of value and entertainment out of it, is definitely something worth talking about. So that's the point of this video. I'm going to show you some of the things that you can do with the photo mode in Project Zero. There is no editing involved in this video. It is just a straight cut, so I will probably struggle a little bit with little bits and pieces, and I'll explain that as I go along. But what you're seeing here is exactly the experience you'll have if you play around with a photo mode in the game yourself. So as you can see, we've got our character here. I'm just going to move her up the pathway a little bit, and then we're going to enter the photo mode. So like, bang, there we go. So this is the snap mode. Welcome to snap mode, and they explain how you can do it. You've got full control over where the camera goes, of course. You can move it around. You can admire the character this way. But what I'm going to do first up is I'm going to pose this character in a different way because that's not really what I want. So you move over to here and you've got the placement here of you can actually place multiple characters, and we're going to show you that soon enough. But for now, we'll just take Yuri here and change her. You can rotate her around, and you can also change her pose. So we're going to go with what pose will we go with? We'll go with a camera pose. So we're going to take a screenshot of her taking a photo. At the moment it all looks very dark, but don't worry, we are going to fix that soon enough. So there we go, we've got that. Next up, we're pretty happy with all of that right now. So next up we are going to shed some light on the situation as such. So we're going to use one of these additional slots for characters, and we're going to choose from here. You've got all these different characters you can use. We're going to choose Ren. Now it doesn't really matter for the purposes of the photo I'm taking here which character we use, as long as it's one of the human characters who carries a light. So we're going to select Ren, and we have now placed Ren in the game. Now here's the first part, which is just a little bit fiddly, and it takes a little while to get used to, is just placing him in the right spot and finding him on the screen. Sometimes when you pop these characters in, they're not actually where you expect them to be. In this case, he's right there in front of us, as we can see. So we're going to turn him, there we go. Now he's got a light. Now what we're going to do is we're going to move him out of the way a bit, and we are going to also exit out of here. Oops. We're going to exit out of here, so I've got control over the scene again. So here we go. We've got Ren here, and he's got a flashlight, which is good. That's what we want. Now we're going to reposition him a little bit and rotate him around so that he's lighting up our main character here, Yuri. Now if I drop him down a bit, there we go, his light is slightly angled, and we'll put him about there, I think. Maybe a little bit softer light. Okay. So that's basically a lighting system that you've got in this game. Now if I show you what I'm actually going to do with this, I'll exit out of that. If I show you what I'm actually going to do with this, I'm not going to show Ren in the screenshot. This is the screenshot we're going to be taking, roughly, this kind of scene here. And we'll do some more things with it soon enough. But as you can see, you can't see Ren, but because he's got the light, he acts as a lighting system, which allows you to really pose things up just as you would in a real photo studio, which is a really nice, neat effect. And that's actually a really good touch, because otherwise some of the characters can also be quite dark in the very dark settings that this game takes place. So we're going to put another light system in, since we have up to 14 points worth of characters we can place. See the placement cost there? You can have up to 14 points worth. I think that's based on how much memory they can consume within the game, so they limit you a little bit. Now, I believe maybe we can place another Ren. Let's see if we can place no, I cannot place any more characters. Okay, fine. I can't place another Ren, but I should be able to. There we go. So if I place Hisoka, who's another human character. Now, does she have a light system? Let's see. And I don't believe she has a light, unfortunately. That's a pity. Okay, so we won't be using her. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure I had a second one going. Maybe it's Rui. Okay, let's see if that works. Now, does she have a second light? And no, she doesn't either. Well, I won't be showing you a second light. I could have sworn I had a second light working when I was testing this. I can't remember if there was another character that could do it. Apparently not. Apparently not. But that's okay. We don't really need to worry about that. We're going to use that character slot anyway soon enough. But won't happen this. Okay, so now we've got our lighting system anyway. You can see the character. She's all lit up and all that kind of stuff. What we want to do next is put a ghost in the background. And we do that by going back to that character, Rui there. And we'll change her over to one of the ghosts. Let's go with the woman who fell. Yeah. The woman who fell. Okay, now turn that on. Now, where is she? This is where it gets just a little bit fiddly. I need to find where the woman that fell is. There she is. Okay, so now we'll move her around a bit. There we go. We're going to put her roughly over there somewhere. I just need to move the camera again. So again, like I said, it does get a little bit fiddly with the camera, just a little bit. But once you get the hang of it, it's not too bad. So obviously we need to rotate her because she needs to be facing the scene. And we want to lift her up a bit, because otherwise she's stuck in the scenery, which is not such a problem with a ghost, of course, but in this case I do want her to lift up a bit. So let's move her up. There we go. We'll move her up nice and high. At the moment she's just standing, but we can have her do other things. We can pose her. There we go. Let's have her attacking. That'll be fun. So there we go. She's about to attack. And we'll just move her a little bit. There we go. Alright. So now that we've got that, we will exit back out again. Here's our little scene. I'm not quite happy with the way that the ghost is posed. It looks like she's attacking the dude with the light, who isn't really there. He's just our lighting system. So we'll slightly twist her around. Now she's facing Yuri. Okay, now Yuri's being attacked by something and she doesn't even know it's there. That's the little story we're creating here. Okay, so now that we've got that, that's looking pretty good. What we do now is we exit back out of here, and now we're going to play with the lenses, because there are a lot of lenses. As you can see, that one is a psychic lens, which puts some ghost on the screen for some reason. It's not a very good lens, that one. But we've got high saturation there. We've got high contrast. Now, that's pretty neat. We've got blue. We've got all the kind of Instagram filters, of course, as you would expect. Monochrome is black and white, which is nice. Sepia is old photo style, which is, of course, appropriate for Project Zero. Noise is grainy, also good for Project Zero. Actually, I quite like that. That's a nice look. If Insta Camera, that's a bit of grain and some sepia effect in, so I quite like that one. We'll go with that. We'll go with that. Alright, so now that we've got that, the next thing we can do is turn depth of field on or off. Depth of field is, of course, the blur of the background. We're going to leave that on. We can also change the aperture if we want, which, as you can see, blurs things out depending. It's kind of the distance. Let's go with that. Let's go with something a little bit extreme. The focal length. Now we do want Yuri to be in focus, but we want the ghost to be slightly out if we can. Okay, so the ghost is now slightly out. This is looking pretty good. And last up, we can play with frames if we want. Now, you can do a bloody frame, a luxurious frame, a photograph, a wooden frame. So you can get pretty classy with this if you want. Look at that. That's a classy looking shot, isn't it? So after all of that, the only thing left to do really is you can turn the UI off, and just like that, you can take a shot. Click. So that is basically the game's photo mode, and like I said, it's actually quite good. I've played around with a lot of Koei Tecmo modes in the years past. I think the first one which had a proper dedicated photo mode was Dynasty Warriors 9. Before that, they had the option to take photos. For example, if you were playing Dead or Alive 5 or whatever, you were able to freeze frame and kind of take a shot from a paused position. But you didn't really have much control beyond that. You could zoom the camera in and out, and that's about it. With Dynasty Warriors 9, they started to include some more options in terms of focal lengths, in terms of depth of field, and all of that kind of stuff. So they started to introduce that with that game. But since then, it hasn't really advanced too far. There haven't been too many Koei Tecmo games that have great photo modes. I think the first one I paid real attention to was Atelier Riser 2, which had a pretty neat photo mode in there. But again, it was fairly limited, especially compared to Sony. So at the same time that I was doing all these things with Koei games and loving the games otherwise, but wishing they had better photo modes, at the same time I was playing the likes of Horizon Zero Dawn and Horizon Zero Dawn by itself, I spent hours and hours and hours in the photo mode of that game because Sony really invested hard in doing that, and it really worked. Like, it is a very effective free marketing tool because people want to naturally share screenshots, and whenever one of those Sony games came out, you had people sharing heaps and heaps of high quality photos that they'd been taking to the point that there was actually galleries. I remember going along to a Sony event and they actually got the best quality screenshots from a lot of the community and turned it into this kind of gallery experience, which was really neat. So it's all work that Sony's fans do for them. Sony's fans are the ones creating all these great photos out of the engine, but it's the fact that they provided the engine that was really great, and I've been waiting for Koei Tecmo to do something similar. As you can see from this Project Zero Maiden of Black Water photo mode, you can do some pretty neat things. Like in this photo, I've got that lighting system set up, which has made the background mysterious but still present. It hasn't taken it away, but it has effectively lit the background to emphasize the horror of the scene. I've been able to include the ghost there and create a little story with the scene, and all of that has taken me just a couple of minutes. So I'm expecting that people will take some really impressive photos with this photo mode, and I'm really impressed with it overall. So that's that. That is the Koei Tecmo Project Zero Maiden of Black Water photo mode. Do let me know what you think in the comments. If you like my photo, let me know. I am actually a bit of an amateur photographer. If you look at the DD zine that I produce each month, the photos in there that I include, they're actually my own. So I do fancy myself as a bit of an amateur photographer. I'd never make money out of it, but I do enjoy taking photos and messing around with the photo modes in these things. So let me know what you think of my masterpiece here. Be sure to share your own photos once you have the game and once you're playing around with the photo mode. I would absolutely love to see what you come up with as well. So hit me up with those. Let me know what you think of Project Zero, Maiden of Black Water in general. This game is just, I love Project Zero. I'm so happy to actually be able to talk about one on the channel because this is the first Project Zero that has released since I started this channel. So I'm really thrilled to be able to talk about it. Other than that, please do mash that like and subscribe if this video has been interesting and or helpful to you. And that way you will not miss any other videos as I put them up in the future. And if you do want to support what we're doing on digitallydownloaded.net, then please do feel free to subscribe to us via Patreon. You can do so for just $1 a month, or more if you're feeling generous, but $1 a month will get you in. And that $1 a month, and if not more, will support what we're doing on this YouTube channel. It will also support what we're doing on the digitallydownloaded.net website, which is 15 odd articles a week, including some pretty in-depth reviews. And on top of that, you'll also get a 48-page monthly magazine, the DD zine, as I mentioned earlier, and that is exclusive for Patreon backers. That's a really neat little magazine, I like to think, and it goes beyond video games. It looks at the culture, the Japanese culture, its history, its art, its food, its music, its film, its literature, all of that, and it gives you a bit of a sense of the culture behind the games that we love to play. So other than that, I don't have anything else with this video. Go out there and play Project Zero Maiden of Black Water. Tell me what you think, and we will see you at the next video.